Altitude. Altitude.
This was not my best fight, but I think it was actually my most interesting fight that I've had in the F-16, maybe in DCS. Um, all of the time I've been playing DCS. This was a really fun fight. I've done a decent number of BVR fights with me in the F-16 against other AI aircraft. Just kind of mixing it up, trying to get a little bit better at uh, detecting enemy aircraft, detecting missile launches, keeping my eyes on them, and I've got a long way to go. I really lost situational awareness several times in this fight, and I think it's pretty obvious that I did. Um, and I got very, very lucky on a few of these AIM 54s not tracking me very well. Also, in some previous fights that I did today and yesterday and the day before, I got taken out a lot by missiles. Sometimes the first missile that was launched. So anyway, this was really fun though. So there goes my tanks. I've got these guys locked up. I'm kind of cranking a little bit. They appear to be cranking as well. If we look over at them, they're not really turning in. They're about to turn in to me, and then they launch these AIM-54s before they're really pointed at me, which isn't a problem, I don't think. I'm not that familiar with the Tomcats, but one thing, I'm going to pause it here because one thing that the AI does not do very well is launch these at long range in TWS mode, and to my knowledge, that's what the AIM-54s were really designed to do. The Phoenix was a really good long range weapon. It is older, the radar's older, the sensors are older, and so in here, and I don't know how realistic it is, but here in DCS, it wasn't as hard to fool them with chaff and maneuvering as it is newer missiles, more modern missiles. But the AI does not do long range missile shots, and I put a waypoint in here for them to attack me with long range weapons, but they're still launching at 12 nautical miles, which is really what 10 to 15 miles is kind of what I do with AIM 120 shots. As you can see, I start turning in at 20 miles or a little bit less, and try to launch at usually around 10. I'm a little bit late here. Um, and there goes my jankety AIM 120. And you can see these guys are tracking pretty well. These AIM 54s are tracking pretty well. That one bites immediately on some chaff. This one I saw it. And at this stage, I feel pretty good about my early fight here. He's dropping tanks. I imagine he'll be dropping tanks, but that AIM 120. And sorry, I get distracted when I look at these. I thought they both dropped tanks, but anyway, this guy is doing 1,800 miles per hour, knots. I mean, this guy's doing less than 400. There's no way that he's going to evade that, and he didn't. This AIM 54 is going pretty darn fast, but I didn't think I was going to evade it. I'm still going lickety split there, so not too big of a problem. Let's go back to this, and we're going to focus on this guy because he's the one that I lose sight of a lot. But we're going to watch that missile come in. Anyway, I feel pretty good about my fight here. I kept eyes on both missiles. When I saw the other one bite, I focused on this one. I think it bit on that chaff because it was in decent position to come and get me. This guy's down. That first missile shot was critical for me to try to even up the score. Now all I've got to do is keep track of this guy, which I did not do. I lost him. I couldn't tell where he is. I could see this guy's smoke, and I think I got a little bit fixated on it. I was looking around for this one, but I just lost him. So my only real ace in the hole, I guess, is that I had high speed and I decided to just punch it and try to build up a lot of energy. So he's firing another AIM 54 at me. I think this one didn't really track. I didn't know where he was though. Nope, it's tracking. So, and this isn't a good position for me because it's tracking pretty well and I'm not beaming it, but I eventually got cranked around, got it to bite on some of those countermeasures and got out of there. Now he fires another one. It just bit on that stuff up there. He shouldn't have fired that one. And we're pretty close now. He should have sidewinders. So I was just afraid that he was going to use them. At this point, I know where he is. I think this reversal was a bad one. He is not, let's zoom out and look up. He's not going to overshoot here. So I'm not really sure. I reversed right into him. That was a terrible reversal. That might be the absolute worst maneuver I've ever done in anything. Car, plane, real life, virtual life, it doesn't matter. That might be the stupidest thing I have ever done in my entire life. I just reversed right in front of him. So I would have been better to turn the other way really, really hard, I think. And maybe then I could have set up a reversal, but I was happy to see him, and I really wanted to get around on him and get those AIM-9Xs employed, and I never got around to it. So here comes another AIM-54. It's pulling too many Gs. I don't even think that I needed countermeasures there. And then he kind of broke off. So here I saw my chance, and you guys know what happens here. Um, I decided to roll under. I knew I was pretty close to not having enough room for that, but I decided to roll under and try to get position on him. This was kind of a stupid move. Whoop, I'm trying to back it up. My turn rate didn't get that high. I mean, I'm cooking pretty fast here. Got up to 17 degrees, a little over 17 degrees, but I started blacking out, so I had to relax a little bit, and then I decided I better pull pretty hard. If I black out, I black out, but I'm going to crash. And so we wind up down here, um, and you'll see that needle right there. I think, sorry for breathing heavy on the, yeah, I think I can, yeah, that just displays it. Oh, here we go. Let's do altitude, AGL, ASL, doesn't really matter. So 27 feet, I think, is the lowest I got there. Yeah, 27 feet. I thought I was a goner. Okay, let's go back to this. So now I'm actually in decent position on him, but I've lost him again. I was so worried about crashing that I lost this guy. All I need to do is pull up, drop speed, and tuck in behind him, and he's dead. But because I lost situational awareness, I was really worried about him cooking off another missile at me, so I just burned away, which that's kind of my, my Monty Python run away kind of a thing. So I cranked over a little bit, got my sensor set back up kind of the way I wanted them, and I thought that I'd be able to turn around and pick him back up on radar, but we've got a substantial altitude difference. And I always kind of forget that, and that really kills my situational awareness. So I actually used the map a little bit to cheat because at this point he wasn't popping back up on my RWR. I figured he was bugging out to this airfield, going back over here, or heading over here. I wasn't really for sure which, but I cheated, looked at the map, and man, stuff's so hard to see in DCS. These guys are a little bit easier because they're bigger, but even knowing where he was on the map, I realized I was going to overshoot him. So you can see, like, I don't know where he is yet. I still don't know where he is. We are 1.25 miles away, and I don't know where he is. Things are so hard to see in DCS. And so my sensors weren't picking him up, so I couldn't see him. So I just kind of whipped around while I was in the turn, somewhere about here. The sun's going down over this away, and I kind of saw him. Sorry, my phone's ringing there. I'll answer it here in a sec. And then I turned around, lost him again, and then got closer, and I could kind of see him. Okay, I know through the magic of electronic devices and technology, you guys didn't notice me being gone, but sorry for the interruption. I had to talk to my wife for a minute. So anyway, this isn't that important anyway. I got him, finally picked him up, and fired a couple of AIM-9s at him just because I wanted to. He started maneuvering finally. The AI sometimes just they just make weird decisions. So, but anyway, so that's that. The fight was fun. I dodged a lot of missiles tonight, not just in this fight, but in other fights. I didn't dodge some missiles. In this particular case, I'm really happy because I survived, even though I made some stupid decisions and lost situational awareness. I got lucky that the AI bugged out. I don't know that they fired all of their missiles at me. I think he should have had fuel and missiles left, but for whatever reason, he decided he had had enough. He was going to go home. Maybe he was out of something or low on something. I don't really know, but well, I know that he had missiles left because I gave him some AIM-7s and AIM-9s. I'm pretty sure. I think he had 4 AIM-54s, and maybe it's that I put the waypoint in to attack me with AIM-54s, and so when he ran out of those, maybe he went home. But if that's the way the artificial intelligence works, they really need to fix that because setting a waypoint in there or a command to use one particular weapon should not preclude them from using other weapons if they need to. So, oh well, I won't dwell too much on all of that. But anyway, the fact is, I survived the fight. Previous fights, I think I did 4 tonight, and I've done several on other occasions. But in previous fights, most of the time I can get that first missile kill, and then usually I get killed by the second guy. In my best fight other than this one, I did get some aim 9 shots off, but I think I was pulling too many G's or something, and anyway, those missed, and I eventually died. Um, in one case, I didn't kill him, and he didn't kill me. We both kind of like made that final merge, and then decided it was time to go home, and so we went separate ways, and I went back and landed, but I wasn't really satisfied with that. This is barely better because I looked at the map and saw him and decided to chase him down. Um, so I still have some work to do to try to get some better situational awareness, and I think I can get that second guy killed if I do that. So anyway, gonna keep practicing, and as always, thank you for watching and happy flying.